Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Bright Peter Side. I'm a real estate broker and a consultant with Brightside Consulting Limited. I'm excited to have you join me on this channel today. Today, if you are visiting my channel for the very first time, please do wait to click the subscription button and also the notification button so that you can always get a very important update from this platform. And of course, today I'm going to be talking to you on something I consider very important. Like, you know, the year 2021 is winding up, and few hours time we will be in a new year 2022, which of course is long anticipated. Now, if you are a Nigerian, if you live or do business in Nigeria directly and indirectly, then the things I'm going to be sharing in this video will be very beneficial to you, because they are important realities that's going to be taking place in the year ahead. The idea, of course, is not to get you anxious. The idea is not to get you worried. Rather, the idea is to, of course, get you better informed, so that you can make very important decisions in the year ahead. So today, I will be talking to you on the four harsh economic realities that's going to be taking place in Nigeria in the year 2022. I will be talking to you on the four harsh realities of the Nigeria economy in the year 2022. These are things that are bound to happen, and the idea is to help you to better position yourself. You may know some of the things I'm about to mention, but I want to make it obvious so that you will be able to make the right decision and prepare yourself for the year ahead. Beyond also presenting these four harsh realities, I'm going to be also dishing out to you four solutions, that is four ways through which you can cope with this reality. And of course, I'm going to be giving you a bonus point. Once you watch to the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you a bonus point of what you can actually do to cope with the realities of this harsh economic reality. So without wasting much time, let's get going. So, four harsh economic realities. Four harsh realities of Nigeria economy in the year 2022. Number one, increase in dollar exchange rate. Yes, like you know, dollar is an important currency in the global market, and it's very important that you know that in the year 2022 there's going to be increase in the exchange rate of dollar to naira. Currently, as of the day of today of this video, according to CBN, the exchange rate of dollar is put at 412 naira. But of course, we know that in the black market, dollar is selling up to about 570 naira for per dollar to naira. And in the year 2022, this is certainly going to increase. As a matter of fact, some economic experts have argued that the rise in dollar will get up to 1,000 naira. And of course, these are for obvious reasons. There is huge demand for dollar, which of course is a major currency as much as importation and all of that is concerned among developing countries. And like you know that most of the goods and services we enjoy in Nigeria are highly imported. I mean, our economy, the Nigerian economy, is a mono economy that is highly dependent on imported goods, and with little or nothing to export. We import virtually everything in this country, and that being the case, the dollar as a currency plays a major role in this importation. So in the year 2022, there is going to be a huge rise in the exchange rate of dollar to naira, and it's certainly going to affect the cost of goods and services, which Nigerians depend on, of course, in order to live. It's going to affect a whole lot of the socio-economic life of the people. Like I mentioned, dollar is one of those important currencies, in the global market. And of course, when you compare it to naira, that is very weak in the global money market and all of that, is one of those realities you should expect in the year 2022. The second harsh economic reality that's going to take place in Nigeria in the year 2022 is removal of sales subsidy. Like you may know, the issue of sales subsidy has been one of those keenly contested issues, among Nigerians over the years. All effort by government to remove the fuel subsidy, has proved abortive, because the very recent one was in the year 2012 under the former President Goodluck Jonathan. It was resisted by massive nationwide protests and all of that. However, economic analysts and experts have argued that the issue of sales subsidy is not sustainable. The former Minister of Finance and Coordinating, who is now the Director General of the World Bank, Okonjo-Iweala, in her book Fighting Corruption is Dangerous, mentioned and argued consistently that the issue of sales subsidy is not sustainable. And this year, around November, during a program put together by the World Bank Nigeria and International Monetary Fund in Abuja, they have also mentioned that the federal government cannot continue on the issue of subsidy. So they are one of those global agencies that are actually pushing for the removal of fuel subsidy, as according to them it is hampering, it is hindering the economic growth of the Nigerian state. And so the federal government has announced through the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, in that same event, that they're going to remove fuel subsidy and they're going to replace it with a transportation subsidy to the poorest of Nigerians in the year 2022, which of course they're going to send through the Naira system. So the removal of such subsidy in the year 2022 seems to be very sacrosanct, because in that same event, the group managing director of NNPCC, Ame Kari, also mentioned that by virtue of the removal of the such subsidy, the cost of petroleum product will be sold between 320 naira to 340 naira per liter. He also further informed in that event that the law permitting fuel subsidy is going to expire in the year 2022 by virtue of the incoming of the petroleum industry bill. And so all of this put together gives us a very strong signal that there's going to be a removal of such subsidy in the year 2022, and so there is a need for every citizen to adjust to that obvious reality. And of course, sequel to the announcement, there has been a whole lot of reaction by the labor union. The labor union, of course, has rejected the proposed removal, and of course the independent petroleum marketers has also spoken their mind, and the whole lot of Nigerians have reacted. But at the end of the day, the government makes the decision, and they seem to be resolute in removing the subsidy, which according to them, they will now divert the fund into public sector financing. They will divert the fund into possible transportation and health and all of that, providing those basic infrastructure, which according to them will stir economic growth and development. So the removal of such subsidy is going to happen, and of course, the effects, once this happens, is going to affect the socio-economic life of the Nigerian citizens. There will be increase in transportation, there will be increase in goods and services, in food stocks, there will be increase, all manner of changes in the socio-economic life of the average Nigerian. So that is one very harsh economic reality you should expect in the year 2022. Like I mentioned earlier, there has been effort to remove the cess subsidy over the years, since the days of Shagari, and of course, in fact, recently in June 2021, the President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government actually announced plans to remove the first subsidy, but thereafter it seemed there was a U-turn in that process. But it has informed ahead of time that between the first and second quarter of the year 2022, there will be total removal of cess subsidy. So this is one harsh economic reality. Before I end this, let me quickly read out to you some let me give you a brief history that maybe it's important that you understand how this issue of fuel subsidy came into being, and what exactly is the meaning of of fuel subsidy. Now, fuel subsidy is simply that the government pays a part cost of the total. It pays a part sum of the total cost of buying petroleum products. Yes, this has been the case. It was actually introduced in the early 1970s by the then President Olusegun Obasanjo, who also introduced this in other facets of life. The idea actually was to cushion the effect of a major economic event that took place in that year. So the federal government was trying to cushion the effect of the great inflation that happened in the early 1970s. So that also led to the enactment of the promulgation of the Price Control Act, which of course made it illegal for some products, including petrol, to be sold above the regulated price. So now the government is saying that is now saying that, look, we cannot continue with this. As such, they are saying that they're going to remove that fuel subsidy, which then means that the cost of petroleum products will now be decided by the forces of demand and supply. And of course, that means that they will stop the part funding of the cost of petroleum product. And of course, it is fuel subsidy that has made it possible for petrol and kerosene to sell below market price all these years. But now government is saying they cannot continue with such process, and so they're going to be removing it, and that is one reality we are to expect in the year 2022. So it's important that we know this and then prepare our mind ahead of this very change that is going to take place, because it is one important factor. Like I said, it's going to affect all facets of public life, transportation, food, health, even product. And by the time you add it up with the increase in possible increase in exchange rate of dollar to naira, you will agree with me that these are really harsh economic realities that one needs to be very strategic with in order to cope with. Now, meanwhile, let me also further give you some very shocking statistics, of what government has spent in petroleum and subsidy all this while. Between the year 2006 to 2018, Nigeria spent about 10 trillion naira, or that is 24.5 billion US dollar at the then official rate of 411 naira per dollar on petroleum subsidies. Now, in 2019 and 2020 rather, the government spent about 3 billion naira, which is about $7 billion on petroleum subsidy. And in 2018, the federal government spent 722 billion naira, which is a $2.4 billion at the then official rate of 306 naira. But then they merely spent 1.5 billion naira on health and all of that. So this is what government is saying, that look, we cannot continue to do this. We do not have the ability to continue with this subsidy, so we're going to be removing it. So it is one of those events that's going to be taking place in the year 2022 that we should expect and prepare for. Now, the third thing that is going to happen, the third harsh economic reality that is going to take place in the year 2022 in Nigeria is increase in house rent and real estate products. Yes, there's going to be an increase in house rent and other real estate products. Reason being that by the time you add up the two issues I've mentioned, the issue of dollar increase, rise in dollar exchange rate, the issue of removal of sales subsidy, you will agree with me that certainly there is going to be an increase in the cost of house rent, because the increase in cost of building materials and all of that is going to affect the finished product. Currently, a bag of cement in Nigeria is sold at over 4,000 naira or thereabout, about 4,300 naira, and in 2022 that certainly is going to increase, because don't forget that most of these products, most of the materials used in producing this whole thing is imported. And of course, by the time you do the total calculation analysis, you understand the reason for the increase. So in the year 2022, one harsh reality, if you are a tenant, you should expect is increase in house rent, particularly the new houses that will be built by developers or landlords. You should expect rather an increase, because at the end of the day, the economics changes is going to affect the finished product, and of course you may have to do that. And of course, beyond that, also in prices of properties, landed properties, be it land, be it houses, there will be increase in value. Property value in Nigeria is going to increase massively in the year 2022. So these are things that I feel you should know. Now, the fourth thing, harsh economic reality that's going to take place in Nigeria in the year 2022 is increase in foodstuff. Yes, there will be increase in foodstuff. Like I've mentioned, the effect of exchange increase in dollar to naira exchange rate, and of course the possible removal of food subsidy certainly going to affect the cost of food products beyond the other factors. And of course, by the time you add this to the growing rate of insecurity in the northern part of Nigeria, which of course plays a major role in the production of food agro products in Nigeria, you'll agree with me there will be upward increase in the cost of foods. There will be increase in beans, in bags of beans, be it beans or rice or yam, all the basic needs of Nigerians in the year 2022. So this is one very harsh economic realities that we should expect in the year 2022. Now, having known this, the question becomes, how do you cope with these realities? How do you live in the year 2022 without having much of the effects of these economic changes? I'm going to be sharing 4 points, 4 things I think you can do to we cope with the realities, with these harsh realities in the year 2022. So the first thing you can do to cope with the harsh economic realities I've mentioned is one, diversify your income. The truth is that on daily basis, the reality set on us that in the current economy, even global economy, you cannot survive and live the best of your life with one source of income. So in the year 2022, there is a need for you to diversify your source of income. If you are working or if you are a public servant, there is need for you to have a side business that can at the end of the day fetch you more money. If you're also into business, if you are doing one business, there is a need for you to venture into other aspect of businesses that at the end of the day will give you the needed revenue you need to to live the best of your life. So diversify your income. Do not do one job, do not do one thing and all of that. Look for various avenues through which you can actually get more source of income, because the truth is that the bills will increase. Yes, the expenses will increase, but at the end of the day, if you have multiple sources of income, it becomes easier for you to cope with these harsh realities. The number two thing you can do to cope with these realities in the year 2022 is one, be much more eager to save and invest than to spend. Yes, be eager to save and invest than to spend. If you have the available resources, no matter how small it is, be much more eager to save that money and invest than to spend, because it is not necessarily a year to spend so much, because if you save and invest, you're going to have much more streams of income, and it is multiple streams of income that actually build wealth, and beyond that, you will have some level of you will enjoy some level of financial stability. So be much eager to save and invest. The number three thing you can do to cope with this harsh economic reality in the year 2022 is to pay your rent ahead of time. Yes, if you are a tenant, if you are yet to own your own house, one of the things you can do is to actually go ahead to pay your rent, say in the first quarter of the year 2022. Yes, you can pay your rent, you can discuss with your landlord, and you can go ahead to pay your rent, because that will enable you escape possible increase in house rent and all of that. And also, if you want to acquire a property, if you want to buy a property, I will also advise that you start the process of your acquisition between the first and second quarter of the year 2022. This will enable you escape price increase, because it's certainly going to happen. Yes, it's certainly going to happen. The value of property is going to increase massively, and of course, if you're able to make initial deposit, you can actually start with initial deposit. This will enable you between the first and second quarter of the year 2022. It will enable you to escape possible increases, increase in the price of these properties. So that is one thing. Now the fourth thing you can do actually to cope with this harsh economic reality in the year 2022, review your annual budget, review your expenses. Yes, there may be a need for you to cut down on your expenses in the year 2022. In fact, given the harsh economic realities I've mentioned so far, there is a need for you to review your expenses and know your basic needs and wants. If you have a phone, if you can get a phone that can serve same purpose for you for 70,000, you may not necessarily need to buy a phone of 200,000. Oftentimes, part of the problem we have in economy is that people's personal economy is negative, and because of that negativity in their personal economy, it rubs off in the entire economy. Now, if you get the domestic or the individual economy, the personal economy, if you get your personal economy right, it's going to actually help you to escape this harsh economic realities, because by the time you do that, the money that comes into your hand will be best utilized. So you must review your needs in the year 2022. Know the things you want and the things you do not need, and know if you can get something at a cheaper price. You don't necessarily need to go for something that is higher just to maybe impress anybody. That may not be necessary. That is the number 4 way you can cope with these harsh realities in the year 2022. Well, now, like I mentioned earlier, that if you watch to the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you a bonus point, yes, of how you can cope with these harsh economic realities in the year 2022. So guess what it is? Yes, this is December. Regulate your expenses. Like I mentioned in another video you need to watch, where I talked about the 10 ways to have a memorable Christmas. You will just check through my channel, you're going to see that video. You need to watch it. One of the things I mentioned there is the need for you to buy only the things you need. Do not give in to pressure. Do not spend on things you don't necessarily need or to impress anybody. Now I am also repeating it in this video, and that is the bonus point. Regulate your expenses this season. You must understand that we have seen almost everything about the economy of 2021, but we are yet to see anything about the economy of 2022. So now that you have a big year ahead, it is important you regulate your expenses. Oftentimes, why the economy is slow in January and first quarter of the year is usually because people spend a whole lot of their fortune, in the Utah season, during Xmas period like this. So I'm advising you now that you need to cut your expenses, you need to regulate your expenses, save more money for the year ahead, because it usually starts slow, and because it usually starts slow, it requires a whole lot of financial discipline. So well, this is the things I feel I should share with you, and I'm so grateful that you choose to hang out here with me today. Now, if I made sense to you in this video, please do like, comment, share, and of course do wait to subscribe and click the notification button if you've not done so. I would love to hear from you, because your feedback enables us to adjust our content on this channel, because we're here to serve you the best. Again, my name is Diversify. I'm a real estate broker, and of course I'm a consultant with Diversify Consulting Limited, and we are here to serve you. Thank you again for hanging out here with me today. Bye for now.